Today I have a super simple recipe to share with you guys. I want to show you how to make chicken bone broth in your Instant Pot. It's really easy, it's budget friendly, and I think you're really gonna like it. So I'll be using chicken bones that I save and freeze after I make bone-in chicken. Like any kind of bone-in chicken, a whole chicken, if we do chicken wings, chicken quarters. That way you don't have to go out and buy bones specifically, you already have the bones and you're using them twice. We're all about being frugal and staying on a budget on this channel, and that is a frugal little tip. I'll also be using some of my veggie scraps that I save and freeze for veggie broth, but I'm going to be throwing some of this into this as well. So I have my Instant Pot and all of my ingredients out. Stick that there. And you're just going to put all of the ingredients in. I'm just going to stick my bones in there. This is a good amount of bones, so I think I'm going to make 2 batches actually. So I'll just take this big chunk of bones here. Whoops! Put that in there. And then I'll add some veggies in. There's a lot of different things in here. A lot of carrots, onion, and celery. So that's perfect. We'll add this carrots, celery, onion, more onion. This is why it's so good to save your veggie scraps, because I mean, it's perfect for broth. Okay. So, we'll do another. Okay, so that's probably good. So that's about how full I have it with my bones and veggie scraps. I don't have any whole garlic, so I'm just going to add, it says a half a teaspoon is approximately 1 clove. So I'm probably going to do a good amount. I'm probably going to do like 3 or 4. I'm going to do 3 teaspoons of minced garlic. I'm going to put a bay leaf in. I'm going to sprinkle some rosemary leaves in there. A tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. I'm going to do a teaspoon of sea salt. I would prefer whole peppercorns, but I just don't have any right now, so probably a half a teaspoon of pepper. And you can always add more salt and pepper after. Then I'm actually going to take this out and go fill it up with water. So I filled it up probably about half an inch, maybe a little more, below the max fill line for water. Once you get all your stuff in there, get your lid on nice and tight. And then I'm going to do the pressure cook on high pressure for 2 hours. You could also, you could also do low pressure for 3 hours if you prefer. Hi, buddy. Okay. So, yeah, there you go. It's going to take it a little while to get to pressure if you're not used to using your Instant Pot. Also wanted to say, make sure that the valve back here is put to the sealing side, not the venting side. You want to make sure that that's on sealing. So it cooked for the 2 hours, and then I let it natural release the pressure for 30 minutes. And then after the 30 minutes, I switched this to venting. I'll show you. So after I let it natural release for 30 minutes, I switched this over to the venting, and the little, whatever you call this, this is down. It's not like poking up anymore, so you know that it's safe to open your Instant Pot. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open this. It smells so good. My goodness, that smells amazing. Look at how delicious that looks. Whoops, fogged you up. That is so delicious and so healthy. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, so I just have a pot and a strainer. And what I'm gonna do first is I'm just gonna do my best at getting everything, the big chunks out first. My spoon. It'd be a lot better if you had a larger spoon. So I'm just going to go throw this in the trash. And then there's still obviously more stuff in the broth, so I'm going to very carefully, because it's very hot, pour into here. The strainer caught all the rest of the stuff that I didn't get with this spoon. I'm gonna go ahead and dump this. And there is all of our deliciously healthy chicken bone broth. Okay, so I'm going to let this cool for a while. It is very hot, obviously. But I just want to let it cool for a little bit, and then I will divide it up into jars. Okay, so I have my clean and sanitized jars. Just want to point out, this is not a canning recipe. I am storing these in my freezer. So if you're wanting to have shelf-stable bone broth, that's not what I'm doing. You can do that, but that's not what I'm doing. I don't have a pressure canner yet. So I'm just freezing these. Okay, so I'm just going to put this funnel here and then fill all my jars up. Gonna wipe the rims off. Like I said, this is not a shelf-stable canning recipe. I'm just going to be storing them in my freezer. So please keep that in mind. Another thing is, if you don't like having the fat in the broth, you can let this cool in the fridge for a few hours, and the fat will solidify onto the top. Whoops, dang it. The fat will solidify onto the top, and then you can easily scrape that off. And there are all of my jars of homemade, essentially free chicken broth, because I used chicken bones from prior dinners that I saved, veggie scraps from prior dinners, seasonings that I already had in the pantry, and water. So, frugal living at its finest, you guys.